Well, all right! Welcome back to As It Should Be. Paul Bertolino here in the world-famous As It Should Be studios.
Wow!
With Crystal Durant.
Hello.
With Tommy Von Point. Yeah, and today we are here to review an album. Yeah, we were reviewing an album chosen by Tommy. The 1985 album by Slade, Rogues Gallery. Yeah, the follow-up to their big U.S. breakthrough. Yeah. So they were ready to take the U.S. by storm with this album.
Riding high.
Yeah, but so we're each going to do our respective reviews, and we're going to begin with Crystal.
It's me. Hi, I'm first. All right, Slade, Rogues Gallery, 1985. So all I really knew about them previously was, Mama We're All Crazy Now and Come On Feel the Noise, because that's what everybody knew for a while. So before I listened to this album, I listened to random songs from the old albums because I wanted to get a sense of, have they always been like that? Is there anything different? Did anything change? Blah, blah, blah.
Where are they coming from?
And it was all pretty similar to me. They're all loud, rocking good time, party rock, loud. The mixes are all at 11. They're all loud.
A lot of stomping going on.
There's no subtlety anywhere. There's no soft anything. It is all loud all the time. So that had me worried. Right off the bat, I was like, oh.
It's the kind of thing that gets me excited.
Yeah, and I'm like, and it's 1985. What are they going to do? So here we go. So the older songs that I really stuck in my head were that Slade and Flame album. I like that one.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorites.
That was pretty cool. Them Kind of Monkeys Can't Swing.
Yeah.
That song, it's a little punk rocky to me. I like that song. And the Christmas song I like, their Christmas song, the Slade Christmas song. What's the name of it?
I don't remember.
Do you remember what's the name of the Christmas song?
So here it is, Merry Christmas.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, that's good. All right, so guitars, keys, big 80s, too loud.
I have yet to hear the problem. What is the problem here?
I'm not saying it's a problem. I'm just describing what it is to me.
Okay.
All right. Big 80s. I did not expect Slade to do a big 80s sound. And it is big 80s all the way to 11. Hey Ho, Wish You Well is very sing-songy. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Not being pejorative. That just is what it is. Loud. Then Little Sheila, keys. At the beginning, it reminds me of Van Halen's Jump.
Oh,
man, not exactly that.
No, it's not the same thing.
Not the same thing at all. But to open up a song like that, it just harkens back to Jump to me. It just loud keys. Then Harmony is very anthemic, which is very much of the time. I'm not mad at that. Nothing really high or low, because it's all really loud. But it's an alright song. Then we got Mysterious Mr. Jones. Mr. Mixelplix wrote this song, apparently.
That was exactly the way I was going to say it.
Because that's how it's spelled. M-Y-Z Terius. M-Y-Z-T-E-R Jones, yeah. So that song, oddly, and this might sound crazy, I don't know, but it reminds me of Styx.
Wow, I did not get that out of that at all.
Yeah, not necessarily like Come Sail Away or Mr. Roboto, but like the
wooden nickel stuff?
No, it just the way the arrangement, I don't know, it just reminded me of Styx.
Oh, all right.
And I love Styx. I'm not saying this fucking sucks because they're not supposed to be doing Styx. It just reminded me of Styx. I don't know why, it just does. And the title, very Styx-ish with the Z's. Then you got Walking on Water, Running on Alcohol. This song reminds me of Motley Crue, because the guy singing sounds a little bit like Vince Neil to me.
Oh, well, that's a terrible thing to say about anyone.
I'm sorry.
How could you say that about Noddy Holder?
I'm not saying it sucks because he sounds like Vince Neil. He just sounds like Vince Neil to me. I don't know why.
Sorry, Noddy.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Paul, am I wrong?
I'd have to go back and listen to it again and look. I didn't get that from it, but maybe if I went back, I'd go, oh, right, I see what she's talking about.
And the reason why it stuck out to me is because even though Nadi's, his wheelhouse is kind of high, this was a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Like Vince Neil high. That's what it sounds like to me.
Okay.
All right. 7 Year Bitch. A sing-songy anthem. Sing-songy. As an anthem. It's good. It's all right. I'll Be There. That song reminds me of Big Country. Like bagpipes thing, bagpipey thing happening. It just reminds me of Big Country. The song Big Country.
Well, let's just be happy that it's not a cover of the Jackson 5.
Yeah, well, that's true. Which I think is kind of odd and interesting because I would not expect that from Slade. Because it sounds like Big Country. I When You Lose, another anthem, loud anthem. Time to Rock, that reminds me of Kiss.
Really?
It does.
Wow.
It kind of reminds me of Kiss. I'm not saying it sounds like Kiss. I'm not saying that it could be a Kiss song in any way. It just reminded me of Kiss. I don't know why.
Could be something in that title.
Yeah, like Time to Rock. I don't know if it would be a Gene song or a song or I don't know who would have written it, but it just reminded me of Kiss.
Okay.
That was my impression. And then All Join Hands, which is the melancholy love song. It's slow and it's melancholy-ish and it's it's not Home Sweet Home melancholy, but it's got that vibe. It's a melancholy thing. And again, not being pejorative, that's what it sounds like to me. Overall, the whole thing, because it's so big 80s, is kind of formulaic in a way. Like it kind of all sounds the same. To me, there's nothing that jumps out and there's nothing that's rock bottom. It's just all kind of like it's all there. It's all there. It's all there. So I was reading up on this record and just the band in general, because I don't really know that much about them, because they're not my steez. So I came across this interview with Dave Hill, the guitarist, and he said this. I personally think it lacked something. I mean, it was a good sounding LP, but maybe it had a bit too much quality. I think it lacked a certain amount of soul, or maybe guts. I think that maybe too many of the songs on Rogues Gallery sounded like pop hits, so the album began to lean too much to being regarded as sort of a poppy album, and there's nothing worse than that for me. Now that's the guitar player saying this. And that is the perfect summation to me. Now, I'm not mad at it because I'm not a huge fan of theirs, so I'm not going to say, this fucking sucks because it's poppy music, blah, blah, blah. Like I said in the beginning, this is something I did not expect from Slade at all. And it is very big 80s, and they are poppy songs. That's just what they are, which is just what it is. So I'm not saying that I hate this. I don't hate it. I don't really love it. It's just kind of like, it's there for me. It's fine. I'm not a Slade fan. Like I mentioned the hits that I liked. It's not my steez. It's not crystal music. But I listened to this record. How many times did I say I listened to this? Like
you said 3.
3 times. And then I listened to it again. After I talked to you last night, I listened to it again.
She listened to it a 4th time.
I listened to it 4 times. Because I'm like, am I missing something? Is there something I'm not getting? No, that's what I got. It's 80s pop, loud. It's just too loud.
too loud.
It's all too loud.
Well, good thing it wasn't done in 2000s, because then it would be loud.
Then it would be super loud.
Then it would be unlistenable.
Yeah, like I was listening. Initially, I had it on my phone, and then I put in my earbuds, and I'm like, oh my god! And I had to turn it way, way down because everything was just on 11, and not distorted in any way. Like it didn't sound like or grating. It was just loud. Just too loud for me. I'm an old lady.
It's all the rocking.
Yeah, too much. It was too loud for me. So that's my scene. That's my review.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. That's what Crystal thought of the Slade Rogues Gallery album. Let's take a little break here. And somebody's apparently trying desperately to buzz into the world famous As You Should Be Studios.
Maybe it's the intern we kicked out of here an hour ago.
So yeah, see you in a minute.
Merry-go-round. Unique fashions for guys and gals.
All right. We're back. And well, it's time for me to review the Slade Rogues Gallery album.
All right.
And I believe I have some notes here. Yes, I do. All right. Now, okay. All right. So yeah, I remember Slade growing up. I remember the name, but I didn't grow up listening to them. I don't have like a 70s history with them. I do love the 70s Slade, and I have those records now. But I'll be honest, I just got into these records like in the last 10, 15 years. Like I never listened to them before that.
Okay.
And so the first, and I know when Quiet Riot came out, and when they had Come On Feel the Noise and Mama We're All Crazy Now, I was hearing the name Slade because those were Slade songs. But even at that point, I hadn't heard the Slade versions of those songs. So I didn't hear them till later. And then of course Run Run Away was a big hit.
Oh yeah.
From Keep Your Hands Off My Power Supply or whatever. And I remember that was really probably the first Slade song I ever heard. And so, yeah, then Slade just was kind of like this thing that I knew about and always thought, oh, one of these days I need to check it out. Until one day I did start going through these 70s albums and I loved them. I was just like, song for song, I'm like, wow, these are so fucking good. I've been missing out. So I got really into it. Now, I didn't listen to anything later. I didn't go to Keep Your Hands Off My Power Supply. I didn't listen to this one, because it's me. I go, okay, there's a cutoff point. What's the 1979 one? Okay, that's the last one I'm listening to.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, all right.
Window closes.
But now I have heard this album, and I have a track-by-track review of this. Okay. Starts out with Hey Ho, Wish You Well. I swear I remember this song, but apparently it wasn't a single. I don't know. I heard this and I'm like, I've heard this before. Maybe it's because it seems like it's sort of an attempt to redo Run Run Away. But honestly, to me it sounds like Big Country went heavy metal and wrote a new song for the Seven Dwarfs.
Interesting.
Hey ho, hey. Yeah. But yeah, totally. When you said Big Country, I'm like, I'm not insane, because that's totally what I fucking heard. And Big Country isn't bad. I like Big Country.
I love Big Country.
Next song is Little Sheila. Would make a great 1981 Rick Springfield single. Sounds like they took the middle eight from Jesse's Girl, and I'm looking in the mirror all the time, and turned it into a separate song, and then beefed it up the production a bit for inclusion in a 1985 movie soundtrack. That's what that song sounds like to me. But it totally, has that like earlier eight, like the keyboard tone, kind of has like a 1981 Rick Springfield kind of tone to it.
80s.
Harmony. I don't mind this one too much. Kind of like the chorus a bit. Yeah, I found this one pretty catchy. It's weird. I on one hand, I kind of found it a little difficult to sink my teeth into. Like at this moment, I can't remember how it went, but I remember finding the chorus catchy. I remember thinking, oh, this was all right. But anyway, that's kind of all I have on that one. But Mysterious Mr. Jones sounds like Noddy Holder singing over a Laura Branigan track. It sounds like fucking Gloria with Noddy Holder just singing some other shit over it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So Walking on Water, Running on Alcohol. I can hear this where this would have been one of the songs I liked had I heard this album at the time. It's one of the ones I like the most now as well, but I don't like it nearly as much as I probably would have in '85 when I had a higher tolerance for the sound. But yeah, I mean, like, I could see, overall, I could see where if I'd heard this album in '85, I probably wouldn't have minded it. There would have been some songs I would have liked on this, I think, at that time. But anyway, so the next song is the opening on side 2, 7 Year Bitch. Wait, this sounds like Slade. The title had me prepared for full-on cringe, but turns out this is the best track so far. Good, strong, glammy track. I think this is a good one. The title track, or not the title, but the title's a bit like, but the song's good. I think the song's good. I'll Be There. More Big Country plays runaway vibes.
Yeah, big country. Definitely.
I Win, You Lose. I simply wrote 80s. That's
Yeah.
That's it. But this next one, Time to Rock. The title. I thought, okay, well, it's the 80s. I mean, it was always time to rock in the 80s. I mean, you were. Why would you not? I can see the video for this now. Sweaty, buff dudes covered in soot hammering anvils on a shadowy set with golden yellow backlight. Then suddenly a Tawny Katane type struts in a short, tight skirt, and the dudes stop in their tracks, lift their goggles, and stare. And they got to do it like that. And, and now it's time to rock. Splashes of water will no doubt come into play at some point. Maybe the dudes will end up in a synchronized dance before all's said and done. Oh, wait. Whistling? Evidently the 7 dwarves have returned. I'm out.
I don't know. I was really loving that video treatment you just picked.
I know. I'm writing this and I'm laughing and I'm going,
Tommy's sitting here
not
like
going to think this funny.
Let me see if
Tommy's going to go, this needs to
perfect.
exist.
Let me see if I can get the budget together. When can we start shooting this?
Okay, well, the last track, All Join Hands. One of the better tracks on the album, for my money. Starts out sounding like a vaguely country-ish tune, but then it explodes into like this big anthemic closer. I can imagine the blokes raising their glasses to this one round the pub. And, yeah, that's kind of what I got here, I mean, it's a 1985 version of Slade, is what it is.
Yeah.
And in 1985, I would have liked it more. Now, to me, I heard it way too late. And that's the thing, too. Had I heard it in 85, and had I liked some of the songs, I probably still would, because they would have gotten into my veins like when I was 15.
Oh, yeah.
And I still would be like, oh, but I like Little Sheila, But I heard it too late. Now I'm like, what the fuck is this, So, there you go.
There you go. 80s.
Time to take a break.
The man from Slade, his train being delayed.
There's no to this train, Spotted Lark. There's one. There's another.
No, there, you must help us. You must be Nottingham Station.
Not the licensed Buffet, famed for its perfect presentation of our famous Banksy's beer.
Oh, about platforms. Step out. Noddy, you're saved to die. How can we ever repay you?
You can save your thankses. I'll have a pint of Banksy's.
All right, Tommy. It's your review. I trust you've heard this album before.
I have. So
I guess you like it.
I do. Something that might perhaps surprise you both is how old I was the first time I heard this album. You want to take a guess?
That was going to be my first question.
35.
No. Do you want to try, Crystal?
This came out in 1985. You didn't hear it when you were a kid. But you're only 40-something years old. Maybe when you were 25?
No, you are both wrong.
Last year?
1 month ago.
A month ago?
Oh, shit, okay. Oh, wow.
What?
1 month ago.
That's
So,
crazy.
yes.
How did you miss this?
That's a very goddamn good question. So I feel like I have a sneeze coming on. Hold on. This will be an edit.
This has been edited.
There we go.
And he's back.
I'm going to light a candle while you go with that.
Yes. Do I have another one coming? I usually always sneeze in twos. Oh, it's there. It's forming. No. Sneeze Tease.
That's my new 80s band. Sneeze Tease. Yeah.
Sneeze bees. Sneeze bees.
So here's the thing. I've been aware of Slade forever. I mean, I went through like a huge British glam phase years back, and I was just eating up anything I could find, and some of it got crazy obscure. Then I'd be like, I need more obscure, blah, blah, blah. And I was always aware of like the big Slade singles from, you know, their British glam heyday when they were absolutely on top of the world. These guys were massive. People don't realize because they never really were that big in this country.
But in the UK.
Huge in the UK.
And not even just in the UK, like all over the rest of the world. Like almost basically everywhere you could be big except apparently in the US. And they sold so many millions of albums. And I knew that they continued on in at least some capacity. But I guess I had just never bothered thinking twice about, well, I should check out Slade albums from later in their career, you know. I guess I just had like this assumption that like a lot of artists, you get to a certain point in your catalog and you're kind of running out of gas. And it happens.
Right.
You know, figuring Slade's going to be doing the normal Slade thing in the 80s and it's just not going to work or whatever, or they're not going to have catchy songs, who knows. Now, I was aware of Run, Run Away. I remember, see, that's the thing when I was younger. Gosh, I don't remember how old I was when I saw the video randomly pop up for Run, Run Away. And it was one of those things where I think it was like either VH1 or MTV, or maybe they would both play this stupid goddamn game where they would randomly play this video that was old as fuck, but like awesome, and like with the assumption that, well, you remember when you saw this a million times, here it is again, and we're not going to play it again for another 7 years.
Yeah.
And that would be randomly the time that I saw it for the first time, and it would be like, and that's actually what happened to me with Photograph by Def Leppard. Is like when I was like all about hysteria, like 5th grade, I'm like, oh my god, 6th grade, oh my god, and then like randomly they play the video for Photograph, and I was like, and then like they never played it again, and I'm like,
but
and their attitude was like, well, we played that, you know, a billion times. You saw it, you know, and I'm like, I don't know, I was 4.
Yeah.
So the video for Run Run Away had come on, like, I don't know, when I was in like high school or some shit, and they're like playing in some castle, and it's like, I'm like, God, this,
yeah.
I'm like, this song is so catchy though. What is this? Who are these guys? And it wasn't until like way later on that I got into like the British glam thing, and I was like, oh, Slade. And then I guess they randomly had some novelty hit later on that sounded like that.
Yeah.
And still, nothing ever clicked where I should check out their later work. I have this tendency sometimes to just do random, like, rabbit hole, deep dive readings about random shit. Like, it's, you know, midnight, I'm having trouble falling asleep. I'm going to read about this artist or this movie or this whatever, or this pop culture thing. And I just, like, about a month ago, 4 or 5 weeks ago, it was after our last round of shooting episodes, I, for whatever reason, decided I want to read about Slade. And I'm reading through like the Wikipedia entry on Slade, and it gets to the point where they talk about this album and how, yeah, you know, at that point in time, you know, they had left England, went to the U.S. to try to break it big in the U.S. because they were huge everywhere else, and it didn't work in the U.S. So they kind of went home with their tail between the legs, and now they weren't big in England anymore, and now they didn't know what to do, and then now they were sick of touring and they were burnt out, and then they randomly had this friggin' hit with Run Run Away, but they still didn't want to tour, but like now they still want to have hits. So it's like the idea was, okay, the follow-up album, we need to make an album where we attempt to make every song sound like it could be a hit single. Now, we've heard this story before, Hysteria, and boy did that
Chicago
work
17.
on me. Chicago 17. And yeah, so I was like, Rogues Gallery, where they wanted to make every song a big hit single and sing along and fun and catchy and everything, like the whole album like that. Well, I guess I should probably give it a listen.
I guess.
Yeah, the subtitle of it is Tommy.
Tommy.
Yeah.
Band
So I load it up on my phone and I go down to the gym and I'm doing my cardio and I hit play. And I'm going to give you a play-by-play of my reaction to this.
And he ran for 10 miles straight.
So, Hey Ho, Wish You Well Now this is my my recollections going forward of like how I reacted as this album played out. So, first song comes on, Hey Ho Wish You Well. Super goddamn fun. Honestly, could have been like 2 minutes shorter and that would have been just fine. It's like 6.5 minutes long.
Yeah.
Then we get to number 2, Little Sheila. At this point I'm screaming, holy fuck, I love this. There is no way the rest of this album can possibly keep this going. This has to be the highlight of the whole damn thing. We get to Harmony. Track number 3. Okay, not as incredible as the previous track, but damn, this is a good song. Wow. Number 4, Mysterious Mr. Jones. Holy fucking shit, they are literally making love to my ears at this point. This is amazing. Number 5, Walking on Water, Running on Alcohol. Another damn solid track. What a hell of an album side. Surely every single song on side 2 must suck balls. 6, 7 Year Bitch. And side 2 starts out with another catchy song that has hit single written all over it. 7, I'll Be There. Admittedly, this doesn't quite measure up to the stuff on side 1, but holy shit, how are they keeping this up for this long? This song is all kinds of fun. Number 8, I Win, You Lose. We're firmly in album tracks territory at this point, but good God, so many bands would kill to have a single this good, let alone have it be track 3 on side 2. Number 9, Time to Rock. Amazingly, the hokiest, most obviously formulaic song on the whole album is still actually pretty damn cool. And then number 10, All Join Hands, closing the album out with an epic ballad, Me Likey. Seriously though, fuck these guys. How do you just drop an album like this and not tell me? So since then, over the course of the last 4 or 5 weeks, I've listened to this album once or twice each week. There was once when I listened to it twice in a single day. I cannot get enough of this. I cannot get enough of the choruses, the guitar tones, the production. Just, oh my God, everything about it. And yes, I know they were clearly trying to make an album that had the most possible commercial potential. This interesting thing about this though is this is not an album that is album by committee like the criticism you lobbed against the 80s Chicago stuff, because this is album by the bassist Jim Leah.
He co-produced that shit.
He co-produced it.
Yeah.
And he was always like one of the 2 primary songwriters, the dominant songwriter. At this point, he's just taken over. There are rumors that he was actually playing some of the instruments for the other guys on this album. I mean, this is not album by committee. This is like basically one dude taking control at this point and saying, what is the catchiest thing I could possibly write? Can I write a whole album that doesn't run out of gas and everything has single potential, if not hit single potential? And in my honest opinion, the fucker did it. He did it. Now, sadly, none of this was actually a hit, and like 3 or 4 songs were singles off this album, and they still had a fight with the record company about what should be a single, what shouldn't. And the problem comes back to they just refused to tour. They had a foothold now in the U.S. market with Run, Run Away. Should have toured their asses off, then put this album out, put out a couple videos, then toured for this album. Yeah. And if they'd have done that, in spite of the way this album hit the both of you, considering the time period, 1985, if they'd have toured heavily...
Oh, it would have been all over the place.
Some of this shit would have fucking stuck.
Yeah.
It absolutely would have stuck, because it had hit potential all over it. And it didn't, and they kind of shot themselves in the foot. And in later years, in an interview with the bassist Jim Leah, the guy who was the dominant creative force for this, they were like, yeah, do you regret like not going back to the States on tour and not, promoting? He's like, yes, absolutely. He's like, I look back on that, why didn't we just do it? Why didn't we tour?
Super stupid.
He's like, I had health issues that caused us to cancel an opening slot with Ozzy, and then Noddy was going through like a divorce and was burnt out, and he's like, but we should have just done it anyway and gotten over our shit and just toured. Because after this record, they did like one more record that went even further nowhere that I haven't actually even gotten around to checking out yet, and I need to. And after that, they were basically just done. They broke up officially in like 91, 92, and then there's been like half reunions, like Slade 2. It doesn't have all the original members, and like at that point, who cares? Because now they've entered nostalgia territory. But yeah, they really kind of fucked themselves because this album could have kept them going strong through the 80s, regardless of whether or not it's too 80s for your tastes. It was the right album at the right time, and they just weren't in the right state of mind to support it.
Yeah, well, they were just like these coddled 70s rock stars who were like, oh, you know,
Yeah.
I'm going through a divorce. I don't feel like playing any, you know what I mean? Just like, you know, somebody grape me. Will you? Thank you.
Yeah,
you know?
and like the record label had like a whole tour booked in reaction to the sudden success in America that they'd been trying to get for like a decade or more, and then like apparently like. Allegedly, no one informed the band that the tour had been booked and all the dates had been secured and the tickets had been selling. And then the band found out, like, we never agreed to tour. Cancel this. So
Cancel this.
They had the label cancel the entire fucking tour.
Yeah, that's so smart.
And it's like, what the fuck, guys?
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
yeah, they just they couldn't see the forest for the trees. They just were up their own asses at this point, and they're like, "Well, Run Run Away was a big hit, and then the follow-up single was a hit, and we did it based on just releasing a single and putting out a video. So we shouldn't have to bust our. I guess I don't know what the fuck they.
yeah,
were
no,
thinking.
I just think they were just kind of like, you know,
Yeah, we'll just make a really catchy record and then maybe a pop
Post
clip
on
or two,
that.
and that's all we'll need to do. It's like,
Yeah.
guess what? That was not all you needed to do.
yeah, no, that you had to tour.
I think this record is fire beyond belief. I'm sure that some of these songs could drive someone crazy because they are incredibly sing-songy. They're trying to be hooky beyond belief, and there are people out there who are instantly turned off by that. Just instantly turned off by that. And you know what? If that's what turns you off, you're not wrong, you're not right, I'm not wrong, I'm not right. It's how music hits you. But
Well,
for me,
you know,
this album doesn't.
I kind of, in a way, like, you know, I may come after Chicago for that kind of stuff, but I'm not really so mad at Slade because Slade had worked so fucking hard for so long.
Oh my God.
To get acceptance in the U.S. So I could see them finally going, okay, boom, we're fucking doing this then. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You know, where Chicago had been, they'd been high on the hog the whole time.
Yeah.
But they had gotten to a desperate point. But Slade, I could see where like they just needed to be. They had to fucking do something.
They had to do something, but they forgot to do the one thing that would have made this that would have helped them stick the landing, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
This would have worked. I am convinced there's at least one or two songs on here that could have been a sizable enough hit for them to keep touring and generate more record sales and keep going a little longer, put some more fire under their asses, and they just didn't do it.
I think it definitely would. I didn't say that it was too 80s for me. I was just surprised that they did this, and I'm with you. I firmly believe that if they had done what you just said, make some goofy videos, because they're kind of goofy and naughty, whatever, and done it correctly touring, they would have had a huge, bump in their career, because that shit is completely formulaic for that. No
is
doubt about it. It
catchy
would have been all over
beyond
MTV
belief.
and VH1. They would have had contests, because that shit would have dovetailed with everything else during that time period in 1985.
Oh, yeah. If they'd have toured and if they'd have made like the right video for Little Sheila,
yeah.
that's getting play. That's getting play.
Yeah.
It just fucking straight up is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now, did you ever go back and listen to the one with Run Away on it, Power Supply?
I did, and it's not quite as strong. There's some fun stuff on there, but it's not quite as good.
So that one, they didn't go into it with the idea to do the same thing they did with this. They just happened to kind of, with dumb luck, hit on Run Away.
They just hit on something. I mean, they were kind of leaning a little bit in this direction, because Jim Lay was kind of taking over more control of their production in general as the 80s started.
Yeah.
So, it's not like the stuff a couple of releases prior to this sounds like a completely and totally different band from another planet.
Yeah.
But this was they sat down like, okay, this is the goal. This is the assignment. We need to make the catchiest, most commercial album we possibly can.
They did.
And if you do that, and you've actually got the talent to do it, and it's not superficial, because others have tried this and don't actually know how to write a catchy, good song, it's not going to work, because then it's all the superficial trappings of what you think is going to be successful.
Right.
In this case, the guy that was pushing this and kind of running the show actually knew how to write a catchy song and had a history of doing that way back to their early British Glam single success. And goddamn, does this knock it out of the park for me. I fucking love this album. And It's a shame that it took me until I was at this point in time before I finally heard this, but you know what? It was also kind of cool that I heard this completely fresh, no knowledge of its existence, not hearing even a single song or a piece of a song, not being aware of like the single and not the rest of that. I mean, this was like something that they just dropped this shit brand new, and it just made my head explode for the first time. And it is so rare that I get to experience that as a music lover. And you know this.
Well, no, yeah, all I'm thinking as you're saying, it's about discovering it later, or is that actually it's kind of cool to discover it later, because it's nice to still have stuff like this that you can discover later. You don't want to have all this shit already long since, like, consumed 10, 15, 20 years ago.
In that wonderful magical honeymoon period where you're just glowing, you're buzzing with the discovery of this record.
Yeah, you want more stuff like that to find.
Like that period where you're listening to it again and again, and you're finding more stuff, and you're like, oh, now actually I think this might be my favorite song on the album over the one I thought was my favorite song. Like, it's such a wonderful experience, man, and I got to experience that on a record made in 1985.
Yeah.
And it was just such a magical thing for me. And I was struggling thinking of what album I wanted to select for my review, because I knew my choice was coming up. And I was like, wait a second. We're doing this one.
We're doing the Slade.
We're doing this one. And I was like, I'm going to go into this, and they're going to assume I've been fucking rocking to this shit for like 25 years.
Well, it does sound like something you would have known forever.
Not at all. So that was a little curveball for you.
I was wondering too. I'm listening to the album going, okay, now where's Tommy coming from with this thing? Because I know with Poison.
You did it again.
Wow.
With Warrant.
Not cool.
I know with Warrant.
It's going to be a conversation about this, I'll tell you.
Oh, the best thing about that is that just happened. Like, I didn't do that as an on-purpose thing. Warrant, that you yourself liked some things about the album. You didn't. Like, you don't love that album. There's things you love about it. There's things you don't.
I have issues with it.
You have issues with the album.
I've also been listening to it for
is this
years.
one of those albums where I thought this might be one of those albums that he's known for fucking 20 odd years,
Nope.
but he doesn't really, like, he thinks, well, this was kind of a misguided thing. They shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Totally different perspective I'm coming at this from, man. Right. Yeah. So that is my review of Slade, Rogues Gallery. Give it a listen.
Yeah, give it a listen then. Right. We'll give this.
Wait. One last question.
All right.
Do you think that it was too loud?
No.
Okay.
Too loud means it would be distorted. If I can hear audible distortion happening in the mastering, that is officially too loud. If they've got it blaring hot, but nothing is clipped, nothing sounds like, oh God, they've crushed it. If it's too loud, just turn the volume down a little bit.
I did.
That's all you gotta do.
Okay, just checking.
All right. Break.
Nibble Nobby's nuts! Can't any of you people read? Nibble Nobby's nuts!
Yes, they're
Yeah, Slade commercials, they're all way too loud and screaming.
the loud Slade commercials. No, I think Slade, it's like a Slade Geico commercial or something.
Yeah.
But
all join hands with Geico.
I'll join hands. All right.
Hi. We're back.
All right. Well, that was our reviews, our 3 reviews of the Slade Rogues Gallery album. And if you know this album, let us know what you think about it down in the comments.
And if you don't, give it a listen, and then let us know.
And find out what you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, well, anyway, thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing if you have. But if you haven't, maybe consider subscribing. But if you do, click the little bell because of notifications. Check our description down below. Links for, all kinds of awesome stuff. And but come back next week because we have the first in a 2-part video. That's right. Yes, we have a 2-part episode coming up. It's a very special 2-parter here, as it should be.
Very special.
We're going to be doing the next 2 episodes are going to be Motown singles. Next week we're doing our favorite 60s Motown singles, and then the following week we're going to be doing the 70s. So come back for that. That should be a boatload of fun.
Oh, yes.
Hopefully we'll see you then.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Here we go with Slade review. All right. Remember everything I said before the Chicago video?
Nope, forgot it all.
Well, remember it.
Can't remember any of it.
Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Well, all right.